October 21st, 2025, a date that will be etched in the history of the Sahel and remembered across the world. On this day, 2.5 million doves are set to take flight over the vast arid expanse of the desert, a spectacle unlike anything humanity has ever witnessed. This is not merely a mass release of birds, it is a deliberate, audacious statement of hope, renewal and unity for communities long challenged by harsh landscapes and environmental adversity. Imagine the morning light casting golden hues over endless dunes as thousands of hands prepare the release and the first flutters of wings stir the still air. Each dove carries not only the promise of freedom, but the collective dreams of the people who nurtured this vision. The scale is staggering, the logistics monumental, and the symbolism profound. This event raises pressing questions. Can such a monumental act inspire a global movement for peace and environmental awareness? Can the courage and coordination required to orchestrate this release become a model for nations facing adversity? On October 21st, 2025, the desert itself will witness a living testament to human aspiration as millions of wings unite in a flight toward hope. If you believe in the transformative power of courage and vision, stay with us to witness this historic moment. The sun rises over the sprawling desert of the Sahel, illuminating a scene that few could have imagined. 2.5 million doves gathered meticulously over weeks await their moment to take flight. This extraordinary undertaking, led by President Ibrahim Traoré and a coalition of local communities, environmental specialists and volunteers, represents a coordinated effort unlike any before. Each dove has been carefully cared for, trained and prepared to ensure not only a visually stunning release but also the safety and well-being of the birds. At the center of the desert, a massive launch area has been prepared. Thousands of volunteers, including women, youth and local leaders, stand ready symbolically, lining the dunes, each holding a token of hope or planting a seed to complement the flight of the doves. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation. The sheer scale of the operation creates a tangible tension that grips every participant. President Ibrahim Traoré steps forward to address the crowd. Today we do not merely release birds. We release hope, freedom, and the promise of renewal across our lands. Let this flight remind the world that even in the harshest places, courage and vision can take wing. The first wave of doves takes off a flurry of white wings against the golden dunes. Drone cameras capture the spectacle from above, revealing patterns that seem choreographed, a living river of wings stretching toward the horizon. Observers, both local and international media, witness the unfolding scene, noting the precision, beauty, and symbolic power of the release. This unprecedented event is designed not only for visual impact, but also to inspire reflection on the relationship between humanity, nature, and the future of the planet. Millions of people across Africa and beyond will watch, discussing, debating, and sharing this bold act. The implications are already clear. This is more than a symbolic release. It represents the capacity of Burkina Faso, under Ibrahim Traoré, to mobilize communities to enact visions that blend environmental stewardship with national pride and to project a message of hope to a global audience. But this is only the beginning of the story. As the sun climbs higher, the desert transforms into a living tapestry. Millions of doves rise simultaneously, their wings catching the sunlight and reflecting a sea of white that seems to ripple across the golden sands. This is the moment the organizers had envisioned, a spectacle of scale, precision, and emotion designed to evoke awe in every observer. The desert, once silent and harsh, now resounds with the flutter of wings and the collective heartbeat of a nation witnessing its dreams take flight. Local communities watch with profound emotion. Children point skyward, their eyes wide with wonder, while elders whisper prayers of gratitude and hope. Volunteers cheer, some with tears streaming, recognizing that this event is not merely symbolic, but a tangible expression of human resilience and unity. Every dove carries with it a narrative of perseverance, and every wing beat seems to echo the aspirations of those who have worked tirelessly to bring this project to life. International observers, including media crews from African news networks, environmental NGOs and researchers, document every detail. Analysts note the coordination required to release 2.5 million birds, safely commenting on the meticulous planning, logistics, and veterinary oversight. While some outside Burkina Faso remain skeptical about the scale, the immediate visual and emotional impact is undeniable. The event sparks conversations worldwide how a desert nation, under President Ibrahim Traoré, can create a symbol of hope so visually and emotionally powerful. As drones capture sweeping aerial shots, the first wave of doves moves in orchestrated patterns, forming spirals and arcs that suggest order within chaos. Social media lights up as clips circulate with viewers expressing astonishment, curiosity and admiration. Commentators speculate about the environmental message, the humanitarian symbolism, and the potential for such an event to inspire other nations to consider large-scale ecological and symbolic acts. The sheer audacity of releasing 2.5 million doves in one synchronized event marks the high point of the project, a climax that blends natural beauty with human ambition. Yet beneath the awe lies a deeper layer, the challenge of sustaining this momentum, ensuring that the symbolic act translates into ongoing ecological awareness, community engagement, and global attention. The first wave has soared, but the desert still holds its secrets, and the story is far from over. The desert sky continues to fill with the vast wingspan of millions of doves, each bird a silent ambassador of hope and unity. From every angle, the spectacle is overwhelming. Drone footage shows flowing patterns of white across endless dunes, while ground cameras capture the astonishment of local communities standing in awe. The sheer scale has created a moment that is both visually cinematic and emotionally profound, cementing this day as a historic event for Burkina Faso and for African news coverage worldwide. Observers from international media, NGOs, and environmental think tanks express a mix of admiration and curiosity. Some praise the logistical mastery required to coordinate 2.5 million birds without incident. Others highlight the symbolic resonance in a world grappling with environmental degradation, climate change, and social fragmentation. Such an act demonstrates what collective vision and courage can achieve. The event immediately sparks global conversation, with journalists framing it as both an ecological statement and a testament to human creativity under the leadership of Ibrahim Traoré. Back on the ground, communities engage with the event on a personal level. Children release balloons alongside the doves. Volunteers plant saplings that complement the birds' symbolic flight. Elders reflect on the profound message of unity and renewal. Social media explodes with hashtags like Yorjin Desert Doves, Their Hope in Flight, and deliver 2.5 million doves, drawing attention from audiences far beyond Burkina Faso's borders. Engagement from international audiences underscores the power of combining symbolism, environmental consciousness, and sheer scale into a single narrative. Yet, as the doves continue to soar, a subtle tension remains. How will such a bold gesture translate into lasting impact? The event has captured imaginations, but its success also hinges on whether the momentum inspires continued ecological action, community projects, and global support. For now, though, the desert stands transformed, a living canvas of wings, hope, and human determination. The flight of 2.5 million doves is more than a spectacle. It is a message, a promise, and a call to action that the world will remember. In the days following the historic release of 2.5 million doves, the desert landscape continues to echo with its symbolism. Locals, having participated directly in the event, report a renewed sense of pride and collective purpose. Communities across Burkina Faso reflect on the project not merely as a one-time spectacle, but as a tangible manifestation of national unity and environmental stewardship. Schools incorporate lessons about the doves and their symbolic meaning, while local leaders leverage the event to foster community-driven initiatives aimed at sustainability and land restoration. The political reverberations are equally notable. President Ibrahim Traoré's bold initiative is widely cited in regional news as a demonstration of visionary leadership. His ability to mobilize resources, coordinate logistics, and involve citizens at every level showcases a new model of participatory governance. International observers, including journalists from Africa News, highlight how Burkina Faso's approach blends cultural symbolism with practical engagement, reinforcing the country's image as a hub of innovation and resilience in the Sahel region. At the same time, analysts debate the broader implications. Can symbolic gestures like the dove release effectively complement Burkina Faso's ongoing environmental and economic strategies? While skeptics question whether such spectacles risk being perceived as political theater, supporters argue that this event has tangible benefits, raising environmental awareness, stimulating local economies through volunteer engagement, and creating a sense of a shared accomplishment that strengthens national cohesion. The emotional impact on citizens cannot be overstated. Families recount watching the desert sky fill with white wings, an unforgettable image that continues to inspire hope and dialogue about collective responsibility. For many, this is not merely a memory. It is a call to action, a challenge to contribute to the ongoing renewal of both the environment and society. Politically, the event has drawn attention from governments and organizations worldwide. Diplomatic channels note the ingenuity behind mobilizing 2.5 million birds while integrating local communities and environmental goals. International media outlets from Europe to North America report on the event with fascination, framing Burkina Faso as a nation capable of executing projects that are simultaneously grandiose, meaningful, and community-centered. Domestically, the release has sparked conversations about national identity and civic pride. Citizens interpret the dove's flight as a metaphor for Burkina Faso's aspirations, freedom, resilience, and the commitment to progress despite challenges posed by climate change and socio-economic pressures. Municipalities initiate small-scale follow-up projects, planting trees, restoring degraded land, and engaging youth in environmental education, effectively leveraging the symbolic success of the dove release into concrete community action. Moreover, the event has created a narrative that extends beyond Burkina Faso. Across Africa, leaders and environmental advocates discuss how large-scale symbolic acts, when combined with citizen engagement, can generate awareness, foster unity, and draw international attention to pressing ecological and social issues. Ibrahim Traoré's leadership style, bold, visionary, and inclusive, has become a reference point for how political authority can be exercised to inspire rather than merely govern. The release of 2.5 million doves is now studied as a case in how symbolism, civic participation, and environmental action intersect. It demonstrates that even a desert can become a stage for hope, for collaboration, and for a nation to assert its values on the global stage. The event has proven that when citizens, leadership, and symbolism converge, the resulting impact resonates far beyond the immediate moment, shaping both civic identity and international perception. Yet, as inspiring as the event is, the world watches to see if Burkina Faso can maintain this momentum, translating symbolism into sustainable change that endures long after the doves have flown. From the perspective of the international community, the release of 2.5 million doves over the desert is more than a remarkable visual spectacle. It is a statement about Burkina Faso's evolving global presence. Analysts in Washington, New York, and European capitals closely monitor the event, interpreting it through multiple lenses: environmental, political, and symbolic. For observers in the United States, the sheer scale and audacity of the project spark admiration as well as curiosity. Commentators on networks covering Africa News note that such an ambitious initiative highlights the nation's capacity for leadership in environmental stewardship and citizen engagement. American environmental organizations have lauded the event as a potential model for combining symbolism with tangible ecological action. Although some experts remain cautious, questioning the long-term environmental impact, and logistics of sustaining large-scale releases, the consensus emphasizes the innovative approach of integrating human participation with nature. This initiative sends a powerful message even in the most challenging terrains. Leadership and vision can inspire global attention and collaboration. Diplomatic observers also note that the event elevates Burkina Faso's international profile. It showcases President Ibrahim Traoré as a leader capable of thinking beyond conventional governance, blending symbolism, civic engagement, and environmental responsibility. Across international media outlets, the desert sky filled with doves becomes a metaphor for hope and resilience, a story that resonates particularly in nations seeking creative solutions to climate and social challenges. The spectacle ignites online discussions worldwide. Social media users in North America, Europe, and Africa alike marvel at the imagery, sparking debates on the role of symbolic acts in global environmental advocacy. For many, the event is proof that a small nation with determination and imagination can influence global perception and encourage cross-border dialogue on conservation and civic participation. In addition to environmental symbolism, the release carries subtle political messages that capture international attention. Observers in Washington and New York view the event as a demonstration of national cohesion and strategic leadership under Ibrahim Traoré, capable of uniting communities around a shared vision. Analysts highlight the potential implications for diplomacy. Burkina Faso, traditionally underrepresented in global media, now asserts itself on the world stage through creativity and symbolism rather than conventional political maneuvers. The United States, through think tanks and media, frames the event as an example of soft power in action. While some political commentators question whether spectacle alone can influence long-term policy or international aid, most agree that this event successfully projects an image of proactive leadership. By blending cultural symbolism, environmental engagement, and mass participation, Burkina Faso positions itself as a country that not only confronts local challenges, but also contributes meaningfully to global narratives of resilience and innovation. Across other nations, reactions range from admiration to cautious curiosity. Environmental groups in Europe praise the initiative for raising awareness, while regional African leaders study the event as a blueprint for mobilizing communities around ecological and cultural projects. The symbolism of 2.5 million doves taking flight, captured through media coverage and shared globally, transforms what could have been a local spectacle into a continent-wide emblem of hope and collaboration. Ultimately, the world witnesses more than a dramatic desert release. It sees a lesson in leadership symbolism and civic unity. The images of the desert sky filled with wings reach American living rooms, European news outlets, and African schools alike, prompting reflection on how visionary leadership can unite communities and inspire global audiences. The release becomes a benchmark for how a country can narrate its story, project soft power, and influence the world through deliberate symbolic acts that resonate emotionally and politically. But as the global applause grows, questions remain. Can Burkina Faso sustain this momentum? Can symbolism translate into long-term ecological and social change? The answer will shape the next chapter of the nation's story. Just when the world thought the spectacle had reached its peak, an unexpected development shifts the narrative. As the doves soar and the desert returns to its serene expanse, satellite images and live drone feeds reveal a pattern emerging in the sand beneath the carefully planned paths of the volunteers, and the seeds planted during the release form an intricate, almost symbolic design visible from above. This unintended visual signature of human collaboration and nature's response becomes an emblematic representation of Burkina Faso's creativity and ingenuity. International media seize upon this twist. Analysts remark that the desert itself has been transformed into a canvas, telling a story that no single camera angle could fully capture during the live event. For President Ibrahim Traoré, this is a moment that elevates his leadership beyond conventional politics. He is no longer simply a national figure executing a symbolic act. He has become an emblem of visionary, strategic leadership that merges human effort with natural beauty. The global reaction is immediate. News outlets from New York to Nairobi highlight how a seemingly straightforward environmental and symbolic act now carries an additional layer of unexpected artistic and cultural resonance. The desert's transformation, combined with the flight of 2.5 million doves, reframes the event as a multidimensional masterpiece, inspiring leaders, environmentalists and citizens alike. The twist deepens when ecological experts begin reporting early signs of positive environmental impact. Some of the seeds planted alongside the dove's release start to germinate, creating micro-pockets of vegetation that hint at the potential for long-term desert restoration. While modest at first, these sprouts symbolize the power of synchronized human action and natural processes, suggesting that what began as a symbolic gesture can evolve into tangible ecological transformation. For Burkina Faso, this twist cements the narrative of Ibrahim Traoré as a leader who transcends expectation. The doves, the desert, and the emergent greenery collectively embody a story of resilience, ingenuity, and vision that resonates far beyond national borders. Global audiences previously captivated by spectacle alone now witness an event where symbolism, civic unity, and ecological progress intersect, creating a lasting impression. In the dance of wings above and sprouts below, Burkina Faso tells the world hope is not just an idea. It is an action that takes root even in the harshest places. This unexpected turn elevates the narrative. What began as a grand symbolic act of 2.5 million doves becomes a testament to leadership, environmental foresight, and national pride, ensuring that the story will inspire, educate, and influence for years to come.